Hello, it is Sunday. I think it's October 25th. I haven't done this for a long time, but anyway, this one is going to be a little different because it is about teeth and dental implants. And the reason I'm doing this is if you're thinking about getting implants, I can tell you a really good way to do that without spending a crazy. It's still expensive, but there's a way you can do this. Because I got to tell you what happened. Um, I had a terrible experience with dentists. Are okay, they go to school a long time. I get that, and it costs a lot to go to dental school, but man, it costs a fortune. So anywho, what I'm dealing with, or what I dealt with, um because this is not going to be like a really like a podcast about the NBA. Man, what a mess. The gambling scandal that's going on there is just incredible. The mob. I thought the mafia died like with John Gotti back in the 70s. I didn't even know they were still on in business. But that's not what I wanted. I wanted to tell you about teeth because they cost a fortune, and I'm going to tell you what I did. So a few years, okay, first of all, and this was my fault back in the day. I didn't take good care of my teeth. So, and I've always been really insecure about teeth. But anyway, and I ate. Oh my god, I must have eaten like I love Bubble Yum and Hubba Bubba, and Bazooka. Bazooka. I don't know if they even still sell Bazooka. It was really hard, but I love sugar. So back in the day, I always, I would chew a pack of Hubba Bubba. I'd put it in my mouth, and then as soon as the sugar was gone, I'd throw it out the window. Another piece of Hubba Bubba or Bubble Yum or whatever. So I ruined my teeth. Well, so I needed dental implants, here, there, and everywhere. So I go to the surgeon, and he says to me, um, at this point, at this time, I needed one at the time. Well, I needed a whole mouthful, but for the sake of the experience, I needed a dental implant. I might need it more, but anyway. So this guy, and you got to really be careful with who you go to. So this surgeon tells me, does this, the panoramic X-ray, and says to me, comes back in and said, Carla, we are not going to be able to do your dental implant because your sinuses are too big. Okay, well, you're the surgeon, you're an ENT, an ear, nose, and throat guy. You should know if my sinuses are too big. I didn't know what he was talking about. He said, well, we need to do a bone graft. Okay. So, okay. So, anyway, he does a bone graft. Oh, so flippin' painful. So he does the bone graft, then it has to heal, and then you go back, I don't know how many months later. Well, then he tells me $7,000. Well, no, the 7,000's a little later. So he does the implant. Long story short, the implant falls out. The bone graft, he said it didn't really take. So now I am already one tooth, $7,000 in the hole. One tooth. Tells me my sinuses are too big, can't be done. Well, so I have no idea how much more it's going to cost, except I knew there's got to be, I am cheap. I will always be cheap at heart. My mom and dad they never liked me saying cheap, but they were frugal. I learned to be frugal. Well, anyway, so this dentist, dental surgeon, number one, he okay, so what happened is I go online and I'm thinking there has got to be a better way to do this. Oh, then I found out from this same dental surgeon, and I'm going to need bone grafts because he says my sinuses are too big. Um, for a for upper and lower implants, right? A full mouth restoration. Guess how much? $60,000, and it may be more. $60,000. I That's what we paid for our first house, and I thought that was a lot. So anyway, I start doing research, and here's where I get pretty serious, which isn't always easy. So I start doing research, and in the U.S., they're like you know those commercials for Clear Choice, and they show those big pretty teeth. Guess how much that was going to be? Over 60, possibly $70,000 for a full mouth restoration. $70,000, 60. So I start doing research. Everywhere I called in the U.S., it's going to be that much money. So I start looking outside the country. There are 3 countries. There may be more, but the 3 that I was looking into is Mexico, India, oh no, or Costa Rica. So I thought, well, Costa Rica, I don't know why, but it sounded a little better than, I don't know, than going to Mexico or India for my implants. So long story short, which I can never make a long story short, I found, I researched a lot of these dental surgeons in Costa Rica because it's called a dental vacation. It is a big deal. In Costa Rica, these dental vacations, and a lot of people from the U.S. and Canada go to Costa Rica to have their implants done. So anywho, I send I find this dental surgeon, ENT guy. I don't know if he's an ENT. I can't remember. And then his daughter is a I can't remember. Now I can't remember. Anyway, she specialized in what it's going to look like. Okay, so anyway, now it still cost a fortune, but it wasn't $60,000. So check this out. So anyway, I sent him my x-rays, and he quotes me a price of, now I know it's a lot of money, of $27,000, $27,500. That is for the extractions and the implants. So listen to this. You know what he tells me? I'm going to just remove the bone graft. It's not needed. And I said, well, wait a minute. I'm a little confused. Oh, I want to tell you this too. The surgeon that I found that was practicing in Costa Rica, he was trained in the U.S., University of Miami, Florida, and his team, was really credible, reviews, everything. So anyway, he tells me that I don't need a bone graft. My sinuses aren't too big. So here, I'm thinking, this guy lied to me. Or he's ignorant he doesn't know what he's doing. So, he's been advertised. I'm not going to say his name, but he's been advertised every time his face pops up on my Facebook page, I think. Ugh. But anyway, so I thought, for this price, I've done a lot of research, and I can have brand new teeth and implants. Okay, I told you how much it cost, which is I know, a boatload of money, but compared to the U.S. So anyway, I fly into Costa Rica, never been there before, went by myself. I sometimes do things and think, what do you call it? I'll do it and then think later, which is a problem. That can be a major problem, and it has been a major problem. But so anyway, I fly to Central America, and the when you land in, I think it's San Jose. You land in San Jose. Well, anyway, I get out, and there are probably 100 guys, all wanting you to take to ride with them. Well, the dentist had it all set up. The surgeon had it all set up for me. Pick me up from the airport. So I haven't questioned any of this. I had no fear of doing this at all because I was excited. So, so the guy that my surgeon hooked me up with, the Uber driver to bring me, it was like 45 minutes from San Jose. It was in a place called Escazú. Okay, we're driving to Escazú, and along the way, I'm looking and I'm seeing dental implants, dental implants, dental, and there's like these little tin houses, and there's bars on the windows, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what have you done, Carla? Is this another one of those you act first and think later? So anyway, I get to my hotel room, and which he told me which hotels that I could. Well, that's not where I ended. The first place I went, of course, being cheap, they had no. Well, a lot of places don't have air conditioning like on these islands, but so it was crazy. There were Carla, just tell the story without chasing a rabbit. So anyway, the next morning, on Monday morning, I get to the dental office. It is beautiful. I mean, it is like this facility in the midst of, it's not I don't know if Costa Rica is a poor country. A lot of expats live in Costa Rica. So anyway, he just wanted to confirm the x-rays, which I had sent to him anyway. And so he was going to do his own. Long story short, Tuesday morning's when my surgery was supposed to be. And I asked him, well, how long is this going to last? And he says 3.5 hours. And the cool thing is they do the extractions, and then you're only without teeth for 24 hours. And listen, I know that this is an old person's problem. I'm trying to get used to being old. I'm 18 here, 70 here. It's rough. So anyway, so my surgery is on Tuesday morning. They do all the workup, So the only time besides seeing like these tin houses with, not houses, they're businesses with the bars. After that was the only thing that I thought, uh-oh, this is a little questionable. So anyway, Tuesday morning comes, the morning of surgery. And I'm thinking, Carla, you're in Costa Rica, in Central America, all alone because you're cheap. So anyway, everything was great. I'm laying on the surgery table, or not table, it's not a table, chair, so in walks this guy with jeans and a ponytail. Nothing wrong with jeans and a ponytail, except when he's your anesthesiologist. So he walks in and he's got a tackle box. And I said, oh, hello. And you are? He didn't say Dr. So-and-so. I'll be your anesthesiologist. And I'm thinking, jeans, long ponytail. That didn't bother me. But the tackle box was a little unnerving because I thought, oh, Lord. But then I thought to myself, well, Carla, if this anesthesiologist, makes a mistake and you die on the table, you're going to die with teeth. So anyway, here they are. See? Look. Didn't they do a nice job? I got teeth again. Really pretty teeth. So the the story, the reason I'm telling you this is the I for this month at church I was the greeter. It's one of the things I'm pretty good at greeting people. But anyway, so the man that's the greeter with me, he told me, I need a full mouth restoration, and I've got an appointment with Dr. I said, don't do it. And I don't like to give people advice, right? Just because my experience was not good, our implant fell out $7,000 later. Yes, I still have a resentment. I have sent him an email. Just tell me. Just tell me. You either lied or you didn't know anything about the procedure. Well, anyway, so this man that is the greeter with me tells me he's going to go to this physician, this surgeon. So this is a couple weeks ago. So he tells me today, you know what, the removal and the temporaries is going to cost him like 25, I forget what he said, $28,000. Then he has to go to the lab or whatever, and it's going to cost him $44,000 more. So if you are in need of implants or anything surgical that's going to cost a fortune, give me a call, because I did find a much more economical, cheap way to do it. See, I'm so and it was wonderful. Look at, I mean, they really did a nice job. So anyway, the NBA, I'll get into that at some other time. I just wanted to try to figure out a way to save people money if you need new teeth. And it is Sunday, and you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week.